What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NBA to the Galaxy podcast, featuring your host, my man to the right of me, my man Slim Reaper, otherwise known as Slimothy. He's got a couple different nicknames, but you can just call him Slim for now. You can find him on X at RTR30111, and myself, I go by Scotty. You can find me on X at Scotty Drowned, and of course, the podcast. You see it at the bottom of the screen, NBA to the Galaxy podcast. You can find that on X and TikTok at To the Galaxy Pod. So be sure to follow us all on social media outlets, any of them that you partake in. And of course, the most important thing as we get started today, head over to the YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. Turn the notifications on so you're notified each and every time we go live here. Obvious what we're going to get into today. We're going to get into an NBA Finals preview. It's finally here. The end of the basketball season is coming, but it's an exciting matchup. We're going to get into all of it today. We're going to start in the Eastern Conference first with that final Game 6 that took place in Indiana. Pacers obviously coming away with the victory. But before we get into all of that, my man Slim, how are you doing on this fine Tuesday, brother?
Doing great, my brother. Can't complain. It's always a blessing when we link up and do this. And hey, man, I'm not offset right now, so I must be doing damn good. So yeah, man, I can't complain.
Hey, that's an inside joke. That's an inside joke. Let us know. Let us know in the comments if you want to join the NBA to the Galaxy Pod group chat. We don't have that, but we could. We could have it if you want it. Nonetheless, you mentioned you are not offset, so you are having a pretty good day. Better than him at least. But no, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, man. What up, D-Rab in the comments already? Appreciate you in here tapping in. Be sure to share out the show. Help us out. Help us get some more followers, some more subscribers in here. But Slim, let's get right into it, my man. We're going to start at Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Instant takeaways. I want to know how you're feeling coming out of the weekend. You had some time to process that game. It was on, Saturday night? Where are you at? You let me know where you want to start. You can start with the Knicks or the Pacers. I'll go which route you want to go.
Well, we'll talk about the trash Knicks later. Let's talk about the Pacers right now. Hey, man, my guy Andrew Nembhard, he did the damn thing, man. He finished the game with 6 steals, and majority of those steals was on Jalen Brunson. He did a damn good job. Not only in that game, but overall in the whole series, just containing him. And yeah, man, he held Jalen Brunson to shoot 38% from the field and 30% from 3-point range overall in that series. So tip my hat out to Andrew Nembhard. What a guy, what a player, man. He's one of those. He's a 16 game type of player, the type of player you want on your team come postseason. So yeah, man, he did a phenomenal job in Game 6. Pascal Siakam, he finished the game with 31 points. Pretty efficient from the field, 10 of 18. He set the tone and went out there and balled. Tyrese Haliburton did his thing, 21 points. And Thomas Bryant, man, he talked about a spark plug off the bench. 11 points in 13 minutes. You felt the energy he brought off the bench for the Indiana Pacers, and it was well needed. Over top, he had a pretty good game as well. A revenge game, you can kind of say, the Knicks left him or whatever. He put those guys at the playoffs on his way to his first NBA Finals. So those are my takeaways, man. Those guys did the damn thing that I head to the NBA Finals. The New York Knicks side of things, I don't know where the hell do we even start with this team. They fired Tom Thibodeau. That's a start, I guess. They fired their coach, but I will say this though with Cat though. I just find it to be so funny how he's receiving all the criticism here. Don't get me wrong, he have had his moments where he struggled in this series for sure. There's no secret card in the town. Is it a defensive liability?
Yeah.
Because I've seen this report that the New York Knicks players was kind of upset with him or whatever, but that's not the real problem here. Jalen Brunson can be, held accountable for his defense as well. They was picking on him that whole series, but of course we're not going to bring that up. But we're going to pick on Carr and Towns. Both of those guys are liabilities on the defensive side of things.
Yeah.
Me myself personally, I don't think that you can win at the highest level with Cat on your team. I don't want to just say that too quick for Jalen Brunson, but it's definitely starting to trend that way. But yeah, man, Brunson, he had 5 turnovers in that game. Andrew Nembhard was just all over him, harassing him. And yeah, OG, he had a pretty good game. Josh Hart, man, did not play good in this game at all. His impact was not felt. And yeah,
apparently,
man,
Apparently he has he had a dislocated finger.
Oh, so the Paul
So,
George part two, the pinky thing with the okay. I
yeah.
get it. I get it. We make millions of dollars and we complain about dislocated thumbs and pinkies. Okay,
Got replaced by Mitchell Robinson. I don't
yeah.
know.
But that's my takeaways, though, bro. Like the better
Yeah,
team won. I just don't know what New York kind of go from here. They fired their head coach, so we'll see. But
man.
kudos to Indiana, man.
Off the top of my head, I have a question for you.
What up?
Do you think the Knicks win with Julius Randle? And the reason I ask that, take it with a grain of salt. Mitchell Robinson was not healthy last postseason, right?
No.
So you could have Mitchell Robinson at the 5. You could then throw Julius Randle at the 4, which, for my money, I'm going to take Julius Randle defensively over Cat. But I think there is an argument, offensively, that's where the argument comes in, because Cat was very impactful on the offensive end. He was just unplayable on the defensive end. So it's just interesting to me. What would you say off the top of your head?
No, because Indiana, they got too many weapons, bro. Like the Knicks, they don't have a bench. The Pacers, they have a bench. Most of those guys will probably start on 75% of the teams in the league. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I do. I think the Pacers were just too good, to your point, and I think they were just ultimately the better team.
Yeah.
Okay, I see the comments down here in the bottom right finally working, bro. Yeah, I don't know if you see that at the bottom right of the screen. Is that showing on the YouTube channel? My bad, guys. We're trying new features. So the StreamYard has this new feature.
Actually, when we were setting the stream up, I actually hit a button. I forgot what it was.
Show comments on stage.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Well, it works. It didn't work on the last stream, so that's why I called it out. But perfect. StreamYard's doing its job there. But nonetheless, hey, Martian, just stop with the cat shit. Don't even get me started on him and Embiid, bro. I want to start with the Pacers first of all and just give them their kudos. Siakam obviously gets his Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He's on his way to his second NBA Finals trip. Haliburton, he goes out there. Looks like a superstar. At the end of the day, he was voted the most overrated player in the NBA. He leads his team to the NBA Finals. You mentioned Andrew Nembhard, man. He struggled in games 5 and 4. I think he had like single digit scoring. Had a little trouble with fouls in Game 5 in New York. Comes back in this game, straps Brunson up, turning him over like crazy. And he got 6 steals. To your point that you made earlier. He was also just all over the place. There was a lot of deflections, different things that happened as a cause of his defensive intensity that just won't show up on the stat sheet. So yeah, I loved what he did. You mentioned the Obi Toppin revenge. I love the word you used there as far as revenge game, because this was a team that gave up on him. Right? He was a high draft pick. He was a National College Player of the Year coming out of college. And they gave up on him fairly early, right? And yeah, maybe he doesn't live up to his potential, right? Which was what? I can't remember where he was drafted. Was he top?
I think he was a lottery pick.
Top 5, top 10?
I think he was a lot. Maybe 14, the 9th pick. Maybe the
9th. That sounds about right.
He class of 2020, so.
So maybe he met his expectations, maybe not. Right, he's a spark plug off the bench. Right, that's maybe not something that you want to draft in the lottery rounds. But nonetheless, he gets his bite back in this series. He gets to advance. Sure. Watch the Knicks go home. And yeah, I loved what the Pacers did, man. They played Pacers basketball in this game, and they were able to force the Knicks into turnovers. Not only that, but they take advantage of the turnovers as well, because I believe the Knicks. Yeah. They maybe had like 5 more turnovers than the Pacers total, but the Pacers they get the points every single time. They'll take it and they get layups and dunks off of it. They get layups and dunks off your made layups. So that's just the way the Pacers play, man. 34 points off 18 turnovers in this game for the Indiana Pacers, and I think that was the big difference ultimately when you look at it.
Yeah.
The other thing with the Pacers, you hit the nail on the head as far as like the overall, all 5 starters, man, in double digits. That's what you want to see. You get 2 guys off the bench in double digits. Benedict Mathurin didn't even have his typical, games. He had some pretty big games in games 4 and 5. He didn't really show up.
Thing about that.
Yeah, exactly. Such a deep team, like you said, man. The New York Knicks, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, I don't think there's anything else I really need to say about the New York Knicks. They came out. That was a piss poor series, period. Especially for a Tom Thibodeau coached basketball team, a guy that's built on defensive principles. I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted to leave after watching Jalen Brunson and Cat go out there and try to play defense. Yeah. Man, I'm not even joking, but I will say this. I do believe that Cat and Brunson, I don't think you can – I'm not going to say you can't win at the highest level with Brunson on your team. I just don't think you can win at the highest level with Brunson as your number one. Yeah. But to be fair, and to your point that you're not that far yet, I think he does deserve some grace under a new head coach with this roster. Let's see what a new head coach with a fresh look on things can do with him. Maybe he can hide Brunson somehow on defense. Maybe Karl Anthony Towns comes off the bench as a sixth man. Like, I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't know. That's crazy. Don't get me wrong. That is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this felt like the Knicks' best chance after all of these moves that they made, and as open as the Eastern Conference felt like it was, right? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we just give them that grace to get a new head coach over the offseason, and we see where they go from there. Do any head coaches come to mind? I have done no research so far, so if you haven't, it's completely fine. Do any head coaching candidates come to mind off the top of your head?
Top of my head, Mike Malone.
Man, yeah. That's a good one. That is a very good one, actually. That's actually a scary one.
To answer your question, Marshawn, Tom Thibodeau got fired about a few hours ago. So, yeah.
Yep, they decided to let him go. Spent 5 years as the Knicks head coach.
That was nice about it because they didn't say fire. They said we relieved him of his duties. So, That's pretty nice as you can go about it. So
because you have Knicks fans, I know there was a lot of complaining, I'm sure, down the stretch watching this series, of course. But you have to give him some credit, man. He took them as far as they have gotten in 20 years.
Yeah, you got to give him some credit. Yeah, for sure.
I do think it's kind of like the Boston situation, right? What's his name? Brad Stevens, right? They move on from Brad Stevens. He was the guy that was getting them there to the pinnacle. Mm-hmm. Couldn't get him over the hump. They go the Joe Mazzulla fresh route. Brad Stevens goes up to the front office, and that gets him over the hump.
Yeah, so he did one hell of a job as a GM, just getting all those pieces. Yeah. So, commend him on that. But one last thing on my end with this conference finals. Yesterday, a year ago, that video, man, you went in on Cat, bro. It was crazy, but nah, man, I was just thinking, the fact that a center and Karl-Anthony Towns, he don't have to be this elite defensive oriented type of player, but the fact that man did not average one block in that Minnesota series against Denver, against Dallas last year.
He didn't have one block. He didn't have one.
Okay, he didn't even have one block. That is just crazy to me, dude. As a center, you cannot get one block.
A 7-footer.
That is ridiculous. And fast
forward, effort, man. That's lack of effort.
A year later, the same thing.
Yeah.
Defense, bro. Karl Towns just looked like a kid out there, bro. He's never beaten the allegations of him being, sassy and things like that. So, but
it's so weird. What would you give Karl-Anthony Towns for the series, out of 10, a score out of 10? How did he play?
I give him, to be fair, I give him a 6. Because he did. Was it game 4? I think
20.
The Pacers was at home, and he pretty much led the Knicks to a win that game.
20 in the fourth, I think that was the game.
Yeah, in the fourth. He scored 20 in the fourth.
Yeah,
so I'd give that to him. To be fair.
But, yeah.
When it's all said and done, bro, defense wins you championships.
Yeah. So. I think this was a clear representation of that. Defense does win you championships. I did want to touch on something, man, on the Pacers side of things again. The Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? I'm just curious. I don't think it's this controversial thing to get upset about.
don't know,
I'm just
man.
curious.
Oh no, I'm perfectly fine with the pick. Pascal Siakam, he's very deserving, in my opinion. Real quickly, like, can you verify that every game that they won, that Pascal Siakam scored 30 or more?
Man, that's a good
Because
question.
that's
Yeah, give me 1 second.
I think I may have seen that stat online, but I don't want to kind of just say it and it's not true. But my
Give me
intentions are to
one
say
second.
something telling me that that's right. But nonetheless, Pascal Siakam mainly averaged pretty much 25 points per game in this series, 5 rebounds, 1.3 steals, while shooting 52% from the field. So that to me is a guy that was very deserving of winning the conference finals MVP. So Haliburton, he averaged 21.6 rebounds, 10 assists, and 2.5 steals per game. So it definitely could have went either way for sure.
Yeah,
But I'm not mad that Pascal won that. I mean, to be fair, like he had OG guarding him, bro. Like for him to do that against an elite defender and OG and
yeah.
Anunoby, that's just not easy. So
He was
you know,
working him.
yeah, he
He
was
was
killing
working
him.
him. You could tell they played against each other at practice a lot.
For sure. Yeah.
But he definitely was cooking him. To answer your question, he had over 30 in 3 out of the 4 wins. So the
Okay.
game one was the only one that he didn't have 30 in.
Okay.
That was the comeback.
Okay. But you get my point though.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
basically every game they won, he scored like over 25 points. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, when I looked at it, I think it is very close. In the voting came very close. I think it was like 5-4 that Pascal Siakam won in the voting.
Mhm.
To your point, I think it came down to efficiency and a little bit of like in those moments, and I say this lightly because Haliburton, he had that big moment in game one, and I think it was game 3 that he
Yeah,
had
big
the
triple
big
double.
scoring game. Yeah, the big
Yeah,
scoring triple
with
double,
zero
like
turnovers.
30-point triple double.
With zero turnovers. I think that was probably game 4. I think that was game 4.
I think it comes down to Siakam just being there. And I say moments, I mean when New York's going on a run, Indiana can't get a bucket. Pascal Siakam, go to the post and get me a bucket. Go to the mid-range and get me a bucket. Get out on the fast break, get me a bucket. And that's what Pascal Siakam did this entire series for the most part, and especially when they were getting wins. And then I think efficiency, man. I think at the end of the day, Hali had a great series. I'm not criticizing him heavily. It's just when it comes down to MVP of the series.
Yeah.
He shot 45% from the field, 32, I guess you could say 33% from 3, 81% from the line, right?
Mhm.
Pascal, 52% from the field, 50% from the 3-point line, 67% from the free throw line. So Ali had a beat there. But I just think overall, Pascal may have had a bigger, like a more efficient series. And I don't think you can sleep on Pascal Siakam's impact defensively as well. So
That's a fact.
I think that's where
And then also you
Pascal.
have to consider like Pascal Siakam, like he's getting matched up against Cat, OG,
Yeah.
Mikal Bridge, like these tall guys, like
Yeah.
it's not easy. So
Yeah. So I thought, Siakam to say the least. I think you like my tweet that I put out there. I think I saw you say something about him too. But he's a true. He's got my respect, man. Like he definitely rubbed me the wrong way when we played Toronto a couple years back. He has some cheat shit with Embiid, right? Embiid does cheat shit too, so I'm over it. He's the truth. I respect his game. I respect him playing at the highest level. Playoff Pascal, right? Like playoff Murray, but playoff Pascal. Like why not?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see what's
ACP.
wrong with it. I mean, at least he's backing it up. We got guys like Paul George out here calling himself playoff P. When he gets in the postseason, it's just the complete opposite of elevating his game. I mean, Charles Barkley said it best. He can't go around calling himself championship Chuck. He ain't never won a ring. So we got, Paul George calling himself playoff P. But my bad, PJ. I ain't mean to throw no straight towards you, bro. I really
hey. He's got to earn his respect back.
Yeah,
It's not given.
though. But truth be told, though, Scotty, depending on how these finals go, bro, it may be time to put Pascal Siakam in some conversations, bro. Not nothing too crazy, but top 3, maybe top 5 power forward in the league. So, it's time to put him in that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, is Giannis a power forward?
Yeah, here we go with this. Your boy Draymond. Draymond say he's not a power
Is
forward.
Giannis a power forward? If not, he's probably top 3 off the top of my head, man. The only guys I can think of is Paolo and Giannis. Off the top of my head, I'm probably sleeping on somebody
Tatum,
out
KD,
there.
but
Yeah, Tatum and KD. Fair enough. And the Suns, hey man, they're hell bent to get KD out of there. Apparently,
yeah, I see, man.
So
maybe we can
interesting.
get him. Maybe we can get him, in Philly.
Real quick, man. maybe, hey, maybe, whatever. We'll see where it goes. I did want to ask you real quick before we move to the finals preview.
Mm-hmm.
Magic jerseys. What'd you think of those? Throwing them back.
Oh,
Did you see the throwbacks?
Yeah,
I guess they're not throwbacks. They're just new jerseys, new versions.
Oh, I rock with them for sure. Yeah, they're pretty nice.
You like the new logo?
Yeah, I mess with it.
I think they could use it like a little spruce up, and maybe this is a big off season for them as well. Go out and get yourself a point guard or something. Yeah, I liked them. I think the all black. I think the black ones should be all black. That's my only complaint.
Maybe they can go out there and get this guy, number 11, and play for Atlanta.
Hey, Trae Young. Yeah, hey. Never know, man. You never know. That would be a nice fit. They can cover him defensively. Yep. Hey, Martian. Hey, Slim. Hey, who knows? Who knows? Maybe KD's the best option for the Sixers this offseason, Martian. You never know.
Tell you, man. KD, Embiid, Ace Bailey, Tyrese Maxey, McCain, Quentin Grimes.
So Paul George out. Okay. I was wondering who you shipping out. Paul George. Mm-hmm. I feel it. Let's talk NBA Finals, bro. Let's talk NBA Finals.
Let's get it.
I'm gonna throw some stats to you just to start here. From the regular season matchups. I just want you to tell me if they matter at all. Regular season, OKC was 2-0 against Indiana. 120-114 at Indiana, 132-111 in OKC. They go into this game, game 1 as 9.5, so 10-point favorites over the Indiana Pacers. In the regular season, in those two matchups, SGA averaged 39 points per game.
39. Wow.
I think he had 40 plus in one of them, or maybe it was. Yeah, he had to have 40 plus in one of them in order to average 39.
Do you got how many times he went to the free throw line in those two games or no?
I can pull it up, actually. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, honestly, don't surprise me, though, because, defense is really not Indiana's strong suit for real.
Yeah.
So
Does that matter to you? Does that scare you? Yeah.
It definitely matters. It definitely matters for sure. So
let's see. Yeah. In the first matchup in Indiana, SGA had 45 points, 11 for 11 from the free throw line.
Okay, see, that's not bad.
It's not.
If it was more than that, like 20. So basically, he was pretty much having his way with them. Like
he was 4 for 5 from the 3. Yeah. So then in the second matchup in OKC, this is the one where they blew them out. 33 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 for 6 from the 3-point line, 10 for 12 from the free throw line. So,
see, I'm not really mad at that because
authentic hoops.
Yeah, because it was like 15 or more, but he was pretty much having his way with those guys. So,
yeah. So
that's a level of concern.
That was like a red alert. I noticed when I was looking into this game, going into it. So I want to ask you this off top, bro. And you could get into whatever you want with this game to start off here, of course. But I just got one question for you. Who are you having guard SGA if you're Indiana?
I think I'd go Nesmith, however you say his name. Yeah. I would probably go him more so due to his length and his height. I think that him compared to Nembhard is a better matchup because he could probably be a little bit more physical, but at the same time not too physical because we all know that they're going to call a foul. So I think that'll be a better matchup. He's a wing. He got a pretty long wingspan, so I think that Nesmith would probably be the better option out of all those guys.
So my only worry, and I raised this to you in our group chat as well. Mm-hmm. If Nesmith guards SGA, then who does Nembhard guard? And I know Nembhard is a solid defensive. He's a good defensive player, but how does he is he matching up with J-Dub?
Yeah, you can put him on J-Dub. Yeah, you can put him on him for sure. You would have to put Haliburton on
Dort.
Dort. But here's the thing, though. Like, if any of those guys start getting off, like, let's just say SGA start having his way with Naismith, you can just
Yeah.
switch the matchup. Okay, let's see how Nimhard doing SGA.
Yeah.
And then let's see how Naismith doing J-Dub. Heck, we can even put Haliburton on J-Dub, see how he does, things
Yeah.
like that. So
That's
just
what I
switching
was
it up.
kind of wondering. Like
And
Haliburton.
yeah, that's the
That's
thing. Like,
Haliburton.
it's not gonna be like no individual assignment by any means. It's gonna have to be
Yeah.
like a team effort. Like, maybe we get Neesmith to get guard SGA the first quarter, Nimhard second quarter.
Maturin.
Yeah,
He's
it's
got
gonna have
size
to.
too.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be like a team effort, not no individual assignment by any means. So,
Yeah, that's very fair. And this is a question that I know D-Rab posted in our group chat yesterday. Are you double teaming SGA?
man, that's a great question. I think no lie, bro. I may just let him have his way. Because the thing is, you don't want SGA to be cooking, then you got the others cooking as well. So
Yeah.
I would just cut off the others from getting involved. I would just let him have his way. If he score 50 and they win, hey, I'm living with that.
Yeah.
So
Because that's the thing, man. When Chet and J-Dub start getting going, they're borderline unbeatable.
Even Dort too, though.
Yeah, Dort if he gets hot.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting, man. What are some other matchups that you're looking at in this series? Maybe towards the front line, the big man. What matchups are you looking at in this one?
I'm looking at Pascal and Chet, man. Like,
that's a nasty one.
Can Chet hold up against Pascal on the perimeter? And that's what it's going to come down to me. And if you Indiana, if you're dragging Chet away from the rim, bro, you have to go kill in the paint. You have to, because Isaiah Hartenstein not much of a rim protector. He's solid, but he's not a rim protector. So if you can try to get him in foul trouble, that would do wonders for the Pacers. So that's the matchup I'm looking at. But also, like, Miles Turner versus Hartenstein, that'd be a pretty good matchup as well. Just them getting physical down low and seeing how Miles Turner can he be more aggressive offensively in this series? Because last series he kind of took a step back in that department. So can he kind of kick that up a notch? We shall see. But but even off the bench too, man. Like Matherin, Caruso, Casey Wallace, T.J. McConnell. There's some good matchups in the series off the bench for sure. Obi Toppin and I don't know who they got over there. Just say Aaron Wiggins. I don't know, something like that. So.
I think to your point, man, I think that Siakam Chet matchup is very weird.
It is.
For Chet. I think it's very weird. I'm not saying that he can't guard Pascal Siakam, but I got to see it. I need to see it to believe that. Because Pascal has a tool bag. He brings his bag to work and he's got a tool bag. He has moves. And I'm just curious if Chet has enough patience defensively. Staying on the ground, right? Staying on the floor, not jumping up in the air, all of that.
Yeah. That's the thing with a guy like Pascal, bro. Like, he's one of those players. He has a counter for a counter. Like, if you cut this off, he has a counter for that. And if you cut it off, he has a counter for that. So he's just one of those skill forwards. You really haven't seen that in the league.
Stan Van Gundy, he was tallying his. I think it was over his. Is it over his left shoulder? The hook shot. I guess he misses all of those. It's with what I think it's over the right shoulder with the left hand hook. He misses those all the time, so that's the way you want to force him, whatnot. I know Stan Van Gundy was counting that the whole series.
I want to say this though. I wouldn't be surprised if Caruso starts guarding Pascal. I can see that. I can see him going small though, just putting Chet at the 5 and then bringing in Caruso, moving J-Dub down to the 4, Caruso at the 3, Dort at the 2, and SJ at the 1. So.
Who are you throwing on Hali? Dort?
Yeah, you can go Dort.
But once again, just a mix. You can throw J-Dub. You can throw.
Yeah,
you can throw
J-Dub. But the thing is,
the thing with OKC.
What I'm keeping my eyes on, because you really brought this to my attention, and as I was watching those games in that Minnesota series, no lie, OKC does get away with some things on defense. If I'm keeping it a buck with you, to be more exact, Dort. He gets away with a lot of things on defense. I appreciate the physicality. It's playoff basketball. Hard nose. This is what you want. Yeah, but man, he gets away with a lot of questionable things. Man.
They do, man. They do. They play aggressive defense, and I respect it. I just wish everybody could play that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's my one complaint. I don't mind I don't mind the calls or the non-calls. I actually like the way they allow OKC to play. I just think the whole league should be refereed like that, and I think we would see a more defensively competitive league. It is interesting. I'm not sure why OKC gets like that leeway.
Oh, you know why? You know why? There ain't no secret. Come on now.
The agenda. I got 7 different pairs of players. I just want to go through and see who you think is going to have the bigger or better series in this NBA Finals matchup. We're going to start at the top, man. Hali or SGA?
I'm gonna go SGA.
I agree. Siakam or J-Dub?
Give me Spicy P.
I like it. That was actually one. I have my answers all written down here. That was one I did not answer because I was not sure.
That's fair.
It's a tough one for me.
Can't underestimate a champion.
I think Siakam because he has to, right? Or it's just not going to be competitive. Like he needs to come out and be a number 2.
You can look at it from that point of view as well.
Yeah,
that is true. Yeah.
Miles Turner or Chet Holmgren?
Now that's a good one. I
feel like Miles Turner needs to have the bigger series.
That's what I was about to say. Like to your point with the Pascal and J-Dub. Pascal has to, and it's the same thing with Miles because the OKC is that good. Like if J-Dub don't perform to that level that he needs to, that's still pretty good to probably pull something off.
Yeah.
But in this Indiana, you can kind of argue that with Indiana too. But I think Miles Turner has to be more assertive offensively. So I'm gonna go Miles. That's not Pascal. Miles Turner. I'm gonna go Miles Turner in that matchup against Chet.
I like it. I went Chet with an asterisk. Because it's very important. And Miles Turner, to your point, he needs to perform better than Chet. I just think Chet, towards the end of that series against the T-Wolves, he started cooking. He did. He started getting on his way offensively.
Yeah, he did.
But we got to see it. We got to see it against some maybe some better matchups for Chet in this series. The fourth one, Hartenstein or Nesmith? Who has the better series? Or more impactful series?
I think Nesmith. I think that Hartenstein gets played off the court for real.
I like that. I actually like that, man. I do like Nesmith in that matchup as well. Dort or Nembhard?
Oh my God, that's a great one, man. I'm gonna go Nembhard, man.
I agree.
I'm gonna go Nembhard. And by the way, for the most part, I did pick Pacers players, and that's just not me being biased. But hey, man.
I got 2 more for you, bro. These are coming off the bench, though.
Okay.
We got Caruso or Toppin.
I'm gonna go Caruso.
I like it. I think that's another matchup. I think Caruso, he needs to be the best player off the bench. Mathurin or Kaysen Wallace. I'm
gonna go Benedict on that one, Madden.
I like it. I think he has a higher ceiling. He just has those lower floors where, like Game 6.
But that just goes.
Sometimes they don't need him.
Yeah, that just goes to show you how deep that team is. Yeah. So,
So it's interesting to look at this team, not necessarily direct matchups, but they both have very deep rosters with quality players coming off the bench.
Absolutely.
Didn't even get into like the TJ McConnells, the Aaron Wiggins, right? Like we can get into all of that. We don't need to. These are the most important, I would say. But let's get down to business, man. Final predictions for the NBA Finals. Give me who you got, how many games. Well, I can go first, too. You've been going first this whole time. I can go first if you want me to. You just let me know. But we're going to go Finals winner and NBA Finals MVP.
I'll go ahead and get out the way. Because I answered this question on TikTok, and the video did pretty good, though. So shout out to those guys who showed some love. But I'm going to go Indiana in 7. I'm going to go Indiana in 7.
Okay.
And why is because I feel like this team is just getting overlooked, bro. Like, in my hometown, bro, like where I stay at, they just already, like, riding OKC. Like, they just won the championship already.
Interesting.
I said, bro, like, you cannot count this Pacers team out. Like, with all due respect to OKC, this is an elite team that had one heck of a season, and rightfully so, they made their way to the NBA Finals. But when I look at a team like Indiana, like for the past 2 years, last year they made our way to the conference finals. Now, don't get me wrong, injuries did help them, to get that far. But if you go back to this postseason run they had, injuries played a part in them kind of getting back here. But at what point are we going to like throw that excuse out the window? Because injuries are part of the game, and it's not those guys' fault that their opponents are just constantly getting injured like that.
Yeah.
So, in saying that, the Pacers are the underdogs, so I'm gonna roll with the underdogs, man. I like the underdogs, so yeah, man. I got Indiana at 7, and my Finals MVP, man. I text this in the group chat, and it's it's not like talking about it's a risk, but I'm gonna go Miles Turner, bro. I think that he can rise to that level. He's been here through thick and thin since the rebuilding days, since Paul George, George Hill, David West, Roy Hibbert, all those guys was there, even until now. So I think that he has it in him to perform at that level to win Finals MVP. So yeah, man, that's who I got.
I like the pick for Finals MVP because I think he does have to have a huge series for them to have a chance at winning this series ultimately. Man, originally I was on OKC in 5. I felt like that was a little disrespectful to Indiana. To your point, I felt like that was overlooking Indiana. I'm gonna go OKC in 6, and it's really no disrespect to Indiana. I just think this OKC team is ridiculous, and I think it's scary for the future as well, man. Because if they win this one, they get over the hump this year. I know there's no promises, but that core is locked in, and they got draft compensation as well. That they're going to be able to add more young talent. They have Topic, right? Is it Topic, whatever his name is, the guy they just drafted and missed a whole season. He's going to come back as well, be another young talent added to this team. It just feels like it's their time, man. SGA is just playing on another level. It feels like it's his time to become the face of the league. And I think when I look at these two teams, I'm going with SGA Finals MVP. I think that's obvious if OKC wins. No offense to J-Dub, no offense to Chad. I just think SGA is going to put up numbers regardless. If they lose or win, he's going to have 30-plus points per game. I just think OKC is like a better version of the Indiana Pacers. I look at SGA, I look at Hali. I think SGA is the MVP. He's a better player. I look down the line, I look at J-Dub, right? I look at Siakam. It's a discussion. It's a discussion. I just look at the synergy that this OKC team plays with. And I just don't see Indiana being able to do what they were able to do against the New York Knicks, which was force turnovers, get easy layups off the turnovers. They were going off made baskets and getting fast breaks off the New York Knicks. New York Knicks were not getting back on defense. Brunson, Cat, right? I just don't think OKC is going to come out and play with the simple laziness that the New York Knicks came out with. But it's interesting, man. It's an interesting matchup. I'm not trying to sleep on the Indiana Pacers at all. It's just more out of respect for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But let's see. Let's see what the Pacers can do because they've been slept on the entire playoff run, to your point. And they're here now. And they did. How do you feel? Did they dominate the Knicks? Yeah. Do you feel that they dominated them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think when you look at these resumes, right, the Pacers, they dominated their matchup. OKC obviously dominated their matchup. Let me put it this way. These are the teams that do belong in the NBA Finals. And I'll just end my segment with that because I don't want to disrespect the Pacers. These are the teams that belong here.
Yeah,
I'm going with OKC.
Yeah, so you got OKC in 6. I got Indiana in 7. So, you heard it here first, folks. Yep.
Maybe Friday we can hop back on after game 1.
Yeah, for sure. We can recap.
Typical your work schedule. We'll see. We'll see what we can get in, bro. But anything else before we get out of here, man?
That's pretty much it. One last thing though about
what's up?
The comment you made about OKC core. The only way I can see that core breaking up is because of the new CBA. And if you think about it, I think that's kind of why Dallas traded Luka. They didn't want to pay him $85 million a year. So when you look at a team like OKC, man, those guys ceiling,
Yeah.
is up there, and eventually, man, those guys want to get paid too. So that would probably be the only reason I see those guys not being together. But other than that, I could definitely see those guys being together for a long period of time.
Because do you trade J-Dub and Chet for Giannis?
It's a damn good question.
I'm kidding. It sounds like too much off the top of my head, but it is Giannis. And to your point about the CBA, you turn two players into one, right? One max contract.
Right. I will say this: that would, for sure, in my opinion, be the best duo in the league. Easily.
SGA and Giannis.
Yes, yeah. The best duo in the league.
I just don't think they're going to break up that team. The chemistry is too good.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
We'll see, though. We'll see. Maybe it depends on how this series goes. If they don't win, maybe they do look to get better, right? So we'll see, man. This series is going to be a hell of a series, hell of a coaching matchup, hell of a point guard matchup, matchups across the board. Can't wait till Thursday. Definitely want to thank each and all of you that tapped in with us today. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so. Head over to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on. You'll be notified each and every time we go live. We'll be with you guys after the NBA Finals. We'll be here all summer. So tap in, hit the subscribe button. Give my man Slim a follow at RTR30111. You can find myself at Scotty Drown, and you can find the pod at To The Galaxy Pod on X and TikTok. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
Let's tap into the NBA Finals, man.
Yes, sir. Peace.